one. Boom. New camera, TC.
How are we looking?
Got the Apple, what do you call it?
You know what?
Apple 16.5 or whatever you call it. With the 1.8 something both.
The camera's very sexy.
Yes.
I should have shaved tonight.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? You know what? We should have shaved. You and I. But hang on a minute. You and I made no effort to dress up.
I know, and we're
our guest was supposed to be the best dressed man in Santa Cruz, Mr. Fred Keeley, mayor.
Yeah.
But he didn't show up. We made. But honest, you and I made no effort at all.
Not at all. Honestly, I made zero effort.
I made nothing.
And
Zero effort.
Yeah.
Normally we do it. But when you have Panetta, you got a nice. That shirt you had on with Panetta was nice.
Well, I did dress up a little bit
Yeah.
for Panetta. But,
So you have a level mayor. Fuck it.
No,
Okay,
no,
congressman.
No.
Congress.
I was going to predict Fred was going to show up casual tonight.
Okay, we're back from a 2-week hiatus from TC getting out of town, and I just wanted to ask you one question and one question only.
Thank you.
The percentage of your vacation where your wife was mad at you is how long?
27.5%.
That's not bad.
Literally,
Yeah.
my wife said.
I'm not going to say why.
I'm
I'm saying
but there was literally a moment she said to me,
2 rooms.
"You're lucky I don't carry a gun." That's what she
But
said.
also,
She literally said that.
there was also the when you guys got a motel an hour and a half from home, and she goes,
Get 2 rooms.
"Get."
Yeah.
Hey, I was like, you know what?
What?
This is marital advice for all of you out there. I don't care how pissed off you get.
Yeah.
Sleep in the same bed.
Yeah,
And
don't
that's
go.
my advice to all of you out there in the real world.
But let me ask you this: just
Yeah.
first go forward. Did you go to sleep angry? No.
No.
Did she go to sleep angry?
Possibly.
Bro,
Yeah. No.
was she?
Most likely. I don't know, but, yeah, it was.
She was. Okay, was it 2 beds in the motel?
No,
Was
one bed.
it was 1 bed?
One bed,
How
yeah.
far on the edge were you?
Well,
Oh, you were on the you were on the edge.
I was on the edge until about 3 or 4 in the morning. I
Yeah.
snuggled up. And
Yeah, how'd that go?
It went all right.
But
Yeah,
no,
yeah, so it was, but there was a period of time that I was wondering about my safety.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it worked out fine.
Speaking of wives, I'm still not over. I'm Jimbo's wife.
Can you introduce
as a
our
pleasure. Oh, yes, our guest tonight.
Folks, welcome back to the Off Lip Radio Show.
Fred couldn't make it.
So stoked you're here. Fred Keeley will get you on a rain check. But tonight was a stickers night with Jimbo Phillips.
So I go. Okay, well, here's our guest as well. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Jimbo comes wandering up to the shop tonight, and we're
Right.
like, "Hey, guess what? You're our guest.
Jim-
Welcome back, Jimbo Phillips." Woo! Love it. Oh, can we zoom in on what we did?
Yeah.
We started the show a little late tonight. Does the phone get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so right here you can see all the new stickers right there. Yeah. So we happily carry all Jimbo's beautiful graphics right here at the shop.
So Christmas is around the corner. Great time to get
She
said the cheapest fun you can have for a gift, right?
It is.
What's cheaper than that?
There's nothing cheaper.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is, I'm 60 years old and I have a sticker collection.
Yeah. Well,
You
you.
know, and so,
No,
but I've been working on it since I was a youngster.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure you have.
TC, you've been
collection.
TC, you've been collecting saucepan lids for the last 25 years. What are you talking about?
Another story.
You open your front door of your house and shit falls out.
No, it does not. No, it's we talked about this earlier. I had to create spaces outside of the houses for all the crap I've collected.
Yeah.
One of them is the Santa Cruz boardroom.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place where I can put my collection on display for people like you to
Yeah.
share.
So we decided tonight
Jimbo helps out with that. We'll talk about it.
We decided tonight to go around.
Yeah.
We decided to go around, and since Jimbo's here, we decided to go around the little tour of the shop
Why not?
with Jimbo's stuff, and he can give us a description by the artist himself.
And what's great about that is, I've obviously known Jimbo for a long time and we're friends, but there's a few things that I'll learn tonight about it.
Yeah.
And I am a nerd for history.
Right.
Total nerd.
Should we take a tour?
Yeah, let's take a tour.
Where do you want to start, Jimbo? Where do you want to start, Jimbo?
Well, I want to start over here.
Okay, I'm going to follow you guys.
Yeah, follow us. All right.
Okay, I'm following you guys.
Because there's one thing in here. We're going to head over here.
Oh, yeah.
This wall is really special to me.
Yeah.
First off, you're a musician.
Yeah.
And
He
you
was.
play
He
in
got
bands.
kicked off the band.
So I got kicked out of the game, yeah.
We'll talk about the
He's
new
he's,
band.
Yeah,
he's a
we
little
got to do
hiatus
that.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimbo's got a new band coming up, but you can if we go up,
Oh, go ahead.
we're gonna go up high here with the posters. We'll give a tour of the posters.
Yeah. Those are screen printed mostly in my garage. I screen printed the posters in my garage.
Okay, hold it. Let's stop right there.
Yeah.
So not only did you do the art for these posters,
Yeah.
you screened them in your garage as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I was like totally hands-on with the screen printing.
Yeah.
I screen printed like all those first ones I screen printed. Those ones are at Bro Prints, the middle ones.
Mm-hmm.
The last ones are at Bro Prints too. So,
So
these
these
ones,
three.
these are three I screen printed.
And
So I started handing it off to Bro Prints after a while because it was like,
because bro
yeah,
does that.
yeah,
you,
they do
you
that.
make the art, let them do that.
Exactly.
But what I just said 5 seconds ago about how I'm a nerd about history, I just found out something new.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first like 10 seconds of our conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did actually the screen print.
yeah,
When we opened the boardroom, you were like, "Yeah, I got these posters."
yeah,
And I went to your house, and it was like recently after the flood,
right.
and they were in your garage, like propped up on the side, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're on the ground! Let's put them in the store!"
Yeah, exactly.
And what's really cool, Jimbo, about these is skateboarding and music hand in hand, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We have some iconic shows.
Yeah.
Dr. No, like there's some crazy
The Santa Cruz
early
Skate Jam?
blast. Yeah, the skate jam was
That
awesome.
at the Santa Cruz
Yeah,
Civic.
with the ramp.
Yeah,
on
they had
stage.
a ramp
I was
on
there,
stage.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I was working for NHS
yeah,
then.
yeah. That was epic.
Yeah. And so
That was
there's-
like '95 or something.
it's great history
Yeah.
right here. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's people who walk in here, you know, we'll talk about skateboard decks, but there's people who walk in here and there's a moment of their life. It could be a year of a deck.
Right.
Right.
It could be a rock poster.
Yeah.
But people come in here and they're like, I was at that show.
Right. Right. That one thing.
Yeah.
That one night. Yeah.
And what it brought back like an amazing memory, or it could be in the garage catching dust.
Yeah.
You know, and so by having these, which are yours, in your frames, it's great to share.
Yeah.
With these
It
people,
like
you know?
documents the night. You know. So.
Palookaville?
Yeah.
You know?
Palookaville.
So
Yeah.
poster,
Where
we
was
remember
Palookaville?
some of the
Palookaville was where was that? That was at. Where was
Downtown?
Yeah,
It was downtown.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
downtown.
Yeah.
I can't even think of what's in the building now. But
Right.
You know, Brookdale Lodge.
Yeah,
the
Brookdale
history
Lodge.
of Brookdale Lodge
Yeah.
is
Brookdale
crazy.
Lodge.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's classic.
I mean, it's
Here
just
at the Brookdale Lodge.
obviously the
The
real
Vets
theater.
Hall. The Vets
Yeah.
Hall.
Skinny McDougal.
Skinny
Oh,
McDougal's
Skinny.
last show ever.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Skinny's closed after
Yeah,
that?
that was it.
Remember, I got a story about me.
Well, Skinny McDougal's had a hard time because they decided to be like a strip club.
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Like it got weird.
Right, right.
But Skinny's had good shows.
Yeah.
And that was like a
Yeah, it was
pleasure
a fun
point.
place to play.
That was the spot.
That was
the
the
point.
spot,
It
for
was
sure.
for a while.
Yeah.
So, anyways, as we started this tour tonight, folks, what's crazy is we've just made stop number 1, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Stop number 2.
Stop number 2, I want to go to the very top. We're going to go to the Nodus Kitten.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Nodus Kitten.
That's a
Yeah.
classic.
So we're talking the very top row,
Yeah.
a little bit higher. You got to go a little bit higher. There we go, right there. Top right is the Nodus Kitten.
Got
Jimbo, that was your first
Yeah.
Santa Cruz skateboard graphic.
Yeah. It was actually an SMA board, but
Oh, it was SMA,
but
right?
they-
yeah.
but they made-
But NHS
NHS
distributed and
produced-
manufactured.
produced
what's
Yeah.
SMA?
SMA Santa Monica Airlines,
Okay.
which was a company started in Southern California that NHS adopted and promoted and
Right.
marketed and managed for a while.
yeah. They
How
did-
many skateboards have you done since then?
Oh, man. At least 100, I would
That's
say.
the first.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
100?
I don't even
Maybe-
know.
maybe more?
Maybe more. That's a rough just guesstimate out of the top of my head. But
So your homework is we're going to ask you that on the
Yeah,
next show.
I gotta figure
You
it
gotta
out,
figure
right?
that out. How many skateboards that you've
It
done?
might be even more.
I just feel
That's
like
I feel like more.
I feel like it could be.
Yeah, well,
more.
that's kind of low. I think that's a low
Yeah.
estimate right there.
I know, that's low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, but that's the number 1.
Yeah.
And people come in. Neil, we talked about this show tonight
Yeah.
because we had
People come in, and you describe boards to them.
Well, the night we had the Italian bakery here
Yeah.
on the show, the door was unlocked as it is right now, and somebody walked in. And
With
I
the
gave tour.
with the family,
Yeah,
kids,
and
and
I just gave them the
nice.
highlights of the shop, and they were amazed because they were from the Midwest and they don't know,
Right.
and that's the kind of stuff I talk about.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool, and I love to share it. And like I said earlier, I'll on the next tour I'll be like, yeah, Jimbo screened these in his garage.
Right.
You know, Jimbo's done over 100 skateboards. That's the first one.
Yeah.
And that's yours. And if I'm not mistaken, that was an artist proof, right?
Yeah.
It
It is. It's like a test print.
It was like the first
because there's
one.
no top graphic on it, so you
Right.
could tell it was like they were testing the print. Yeah.
So Dave Friel at NHS
Yeah.
screened that.
Right.
And then he said, hey, Jimbo, what do you think?
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
and then you took it home.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
do this or do that or keep it the way
Right.
it is. Yeah.
And then here it is.
It was
And
funny.
that's
Funny
awesome.
thing about that board too is when I was working on it, the string that goes up the top.
Yeah.
Nodis was like, I was working with Nodis on it, and he was like, it's got to be really
I'm gonna zoom in on that. Go ahead.
smoke like string like smoke.
No, we
That-
can't.
And that was like, me and Meekster would always joke about it. We'd be like, oh, it's got to be more smoke like, string like, you know, like.
So you guys have to do some smoke research?
Yeah,
on that?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What does string look like?
Okay.
TC.
String looked like smoke.
Yeah. We're like,
We
throwing
better
string
play
in
with
the
some
air.
smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Phillips Studios at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
You and Keith Meek.
Yeah.
And who else was there? Was Johnny there?
John Munnerlin.
Yeah.
Kevin Marburg, and Justin Forbes.
Right. All the iconic like NHS artists in a way.
Yeah, for the 80s.
Yeah. A lot of amazing art came out of
Yeah, yeah,
that. And were
definitely.
you were kind of the same age as a lot of those guys during that time.
Yeah, give or take a year or two. Yeah. Yeah.
So getting back into that, were you destined? Did you know when you were like 6 years old you were going to do this?
I mean, I always drew when I was a kid, but I didn't really know if there was like a future in it, but I liked doing it. And my dad did it, so I was like, I see him doing it. But then once the art studio came around and I started making money doing it, then I was like, oh yeah, this is where I'm going. I didn't really think otherwise. Once I started doing it, I was just like full steam ahead on it.
And it seemed like it's weird. My experience in this industry is very rarely is there like an outside art group.
Right.
It's normally they're controlled a little more.
Yeah.
You
It was
tie
very
apart.
rare.
Yeah.
It was like a perfect little storm of like
In the
art
backyard,
and-
right?
Yeah. Well, my dad started the studio because NHS was getting bigger and he needed help. So he always wanted to have like the kind of Walt Disney studio thing where he had artists and you do that. So he hired some artists and I was one of them. And it was kind of like going to school but getting paid.
Yeah.
And you're working on graphics, and sometimes they would just get scrapped, but you'd be getting paid and you'd be working on stuff, and so it was like a learning experience.
I have to say, your father's on point. You did create a Disney type of a deal.
He did.
You know, there's
Yeah.
Facebook pages with hundreds of thousands of people that follow and collect what you guys created during that time.
Yeah, it was a very productive time. Yeah.
It's crazy to be a part of that, and so it's wild, and it's so small.
Yeah.
You know, there was 6 people
Right.
in a building in a backyard
Yeah.
creating this. What today is
It's
huge.
still gets reissued to this day.
Yeah,
and that's
it's wild.
amazing.
Trips you out, huh?
I know.
Well, that one always is special to me because I call it an artist proof,
Yeah.
and you know, and the
Is that still Jimbo? Is that your board, Jimbo?
Yeah, that's Jimbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the board
Yeah.
that he got that day to make sure the art was cool.
The Roscoff one's an artist proof too.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's an artist proof too.
Crazy. It's wild to think, like, looking back. Do you ever trip out? I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's because I know musicians who get big, they trip out.
Right, right.
Because they just played in the garage and made some music and it went
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
became famous, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the same thing as what you did.
Yeah.
You kind of just nerd out in your room and make stuff.
Right. You're
And
just
then-
like doodling on paper.
Yeah, and then people want you to sign their boob and stuff.
Yeah.
And Jenny, if you're watching, he's never signed.
Well, wait a second. How many boobs do you think you've signed over the years?
Don't go there. No, we'll keep that on. Maybe 0.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move along. Secondly, there's something else that we do, and I wanted to give you props for. Is that can you get up there?
Yeah, got that.
We do our coloring contest, Jimbo,
Yeah.
and
the coloring contest is fun.
it's super fun. And I don't know how many years we've done this now. It's been a while. We've done like probably 9 or 10 now, I think.
It's getting close to that.
Yeah, it's getting close to 9 or 10 coloring contests.
First, I want to say thank you.
Oh yeah.
My pleasure. We did this as like sort of a fun thing.
Yeah.
And you're busy and you have stuff going on and you always take the time to do this for the community.
Well, I love to get the kids stoked, you know.
No,
like,
It's important to get the kids to yeah.
And see what they come up with, you know, like see their ideas and everything on the paper. It's cool.
And sometimes they're fantastic. Like
Amazing, I watch Jimbo. So the great thing about it is I don't judge. He's the judge.
Yeah.
And so I just it's struggle. I've watched you struggle with it.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of good ones.
The reason we started it is that I felt we wanted to get families together at the holidays to color and get off the TV and the iPads.
Yeah.
As a family unit, get the crayons and pens out. And
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. So, just so everybody knows, we're going to start that here
Coming up.
in the next couple weeks. Yeah. So the annual boardroom coloring contest coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to work our way over here.
Okay, let's work our way over here.
All right.
Here tonight with TC, owner of the Santa Cruz Boardroom, and Mr. Jimbo Phillips.
Gosh, one of the rarest things, I'll just say real quick, we'll just do a slight stop here, is the bar brawl. Is that what they call that?
Bar Wars.
Bar Wars?
Yeah,
Okay, Bar Wars.
Yeah.
Unreleased art that your dad did.
Yeah.
That they made that series of skateboards.
Yeah. Yeah, that was for like a comic strip in a local
Just trying to get-
magazine, Santa Cruz.
Sorry, folks.
Was it
There we
it's
go.
like Santa Cruz Style or
A long time ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those failed Santa Cruz magazines
Yeah.
that like was big for 2 months or something. And
Yeah.
He did a crazy comic for it, and that was one of the panels, and they turned it into a board series.
So it's one piece of art on 4
Yeah.
boards. When it came out, I was working in Santa Cruz at the time, and I aggressively collected those
Yeah.
because I love the fact that it was like unreleased. It's a vet series.
Right.
And so it wasn't like at that time, we kind of talked about it earlier with Cad. There was a time when the new older dudes weren't important as much.
Right.
So brands were trying to make them important.
Yeah.
And this was what they called the Santa Cruz Vet Series.
Right. Right.
But the story of the art intrigued me, and that's why I was like, I have to have them. And that's kind of a rare set.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen much. But I just wanted to give props to that.
No, that's a classic.
The other one,
black and white too.
as we talk about your dad, one more quick spots is the Rob 1.
Oh man.
And
that's Rob's actual board, right?
yes, it is Rob's actual board.
That's a classic.
And I was told that is the #1 selling skateboard graphic of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
That's
Crazy because at that time
And,
it was.
is there a story? Is there a story to how the graphic came about?
You know, there is a story.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
sure
talked to Rich, and I think I actually talked to your father about it. And there was a time where they wanted to create series. You know, it was like they wanted to have a pro have a life and have graphics come out like records of a band.
right.
Was sort of the idea, but I don't know where the target and the hand came from.
Okay.
I think it was kind of Ross Scott's idea, just kind of spilled out of his head. And
We've had Rob on the show, and I know I've asked him that question, but I smoked a lot of marijuana growing up, and so things are a little foggy. But just to get you guys on point here, if you look up here, we have the whole series.
She's still on camera.
So if you look up there,
Oh yeah.
that is the whole Roscop series up there.
Yeah.
And those are all original NOS boards. So you can kind of get an idea. That was sort of the idea of creating a series of evolution. But next up, Jimbo, we're going to go over here because there's a board over here that we talk about a lot. I don't really have lights on it right now,
Oh yeah.
but it's this.
The underdog board.
Yeah, can you get that up there on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
camera?
yeah. Whoa.
Yeah,
that's
a rare one.
Of your 100, here's one of them.
Yeah.
Or your 100 plus.
Yeah.
And
No, I think it was
so
like
was this an artist sample as well? Was that or
Yeah, that's definitely an artist sample. Yeah.
What's the story? What's the story about that board?
So Underdog was like a board brand out of San Jose. A guy was going to start, and I think we made that graphic, and there was like one with the logo just kind of in the middle, and that was about it. And then that was just kind of all she wrote with that brand. But
How many do you think he made of that board?
100 max.
100 max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people come in all the time, they're like, "What's that board?" Because they think it's a Santa Cruz board.
Right.
You know, and there's like these guys who are super nerdy.
Right.
They know every graphic. And
Yeah.
they're like,
Wait,
"What's that thing?"
Yeah.
I want to know what's up with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. And
Yeah.
what's funny is I knew it was a San Jose brand, but I never noticed the Underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was like the little logo. And there was a board that was all black that had just the white logo on it.
Got it.
Yeah. And it kind of seemed like it was going to take off, but yeah, they just made a couple graphics and
petered it out.
I mean,
the guy.
but that thing's like a 9 3/4 wide board. What year is that?
It's like the 90s.
It seems like there was an odd time.
Yeah, it was.
That probably should have
No
been.
one was making boards like that.
Well, it should have been an 8-inch deck or something, right?
Yeah.
To make it happen.
Right.
You know, it's
He might have been a little ahead of the curve.
Right. Yeah. Like
right.
he was the red curve guy,
Exactly.
living the dream.
Yeah.
But not selling the boards.
Right.
Because
Because all the kids are riding an 8-incher.
right.
Yeah, and he's trying to sell
He's
these
the-
wide boards.
for his bros.
But then, like 5 years later, the wide boards are all the rage, you know.
And
so.
people come in and they gravitate to that, you know, because they think it's older than it is.
All right.
It looks old.
Yeah, it looks old, but it's like 6 years newer than what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's a weird time.
Okay, sorry,
That
much
is
question.
a
Is there
trend.
real right now in this period? Is there a real collector's desire for skateboards?
Skateboards are a huge collector market.
Okay.
I feel like they had a peak
Yeah.
a couple of years ago
And
where it just absolutely was. There was crazy
and
prices.
let me ask you: do you think you have you think in the store, which is a museum, do you think you have everything as far as every part of skateboarding in here on display,
Well, we
or is
have-
it missing
We
anything?
have every decade, but
Right.
we were specific in what
Okay.
we display.
Okay.
We're not like you could. First off, there's hundreds of thousands of skateboards.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
I could fill a stadium
Right,
with skateboards.
right.
We're very specific to the Santa Cruz brand,
Yeah,
and we have a lot of different stuff.
right.
But you know, I've always taken pride in representing, you know, the Phillips family.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we have Jimbo here tonight, and I have a 20-year career at Santa Cruz.
Well,
Skateboard
Jimbo's supposed to be our
before the
original.
store.
Jimbo was our original guest on the
We were
show.
gonna be the host. Yeah.
Right.
No, but it goes back that far. But you know, so my point being is like, you know, we take pride in Santa Cruz. We're a Santa Cruz shop. We're from Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And this is our
Yeah.
our deal, you know.
Yeah.
So the store obviously is a homage to the vibe
Santa Cruz
and
yeah.
history of Santa Cruz.
To the Santa Cruz brand.
Yeah, to the Santa Cruz brand.
Right.
But there's other stuff here that that we appreciate and love and share, other brands.
Yeah.
But that's the focus of it. I mean, just look. That row up there is, I mean, that's a museum in itself. The first
Yeah.
10 boards
Right.
Yeah.
is a museum, you know? And
For
so
sure.
that's what we're into.
Okay.
I
You want to
wanna
go? You want to go down there about? The,
There's some stuff over here I want to
okay. Go ahead, Jimbo.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something back here I want to ask Jimbo about.
Boardroom shirts back in stock.
Yes, there are. Up here, Jimbo.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's classic.
What we got?
Damn.
Which one we
Do you
going?
remember this up here?
Yeah.
What's the story on this surfboard? Do you,
the
I was
surfboard.
told you were in your teens.
Is that yours, Jimbo?
Yeah, it might have been like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I had a friend that shaped boards out of his backyard. And he was like, "Can you paint a couple boards for me?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's
Watch out,
do
Jimbo.
it,
Watch
man."
out. I'm gonna try and get close to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you change the angle on the?
No,
on the
no,
top?
that's too much.
Okay. But
I got it.
What's it say for the?
It's a brogy glass job.
It's okay, Pat Normand and
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like high school.
93.
93.
Yeah,
Okay,
how old were you in
a
93?
little after high school.
How old are you in 93?
See, I was like 22.
22.
Yeah.
So you
So
were
right
kind
after high school.
pretty much starting your life, right? As
Yeah.
an artist?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You mean you were definitely learning your eyeballs and mouths and
Yeah,
stuff on that?
yeah, exactly.
So Jimbo, let me ask you this: when did you go from skateboarding to putting stuff on a surfboard, or were you always into surfing?
Yeah, I was always into surfing.
Right.
Yeah, they were both kind of just like a passion for me.
Yeah.
You know, skating and surfing kind of.
All right, hand in hand.
Yeah, hand in hand.
Well, and honestly, some of your Homer boards over the years,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Homer Hennard,
Yeah.
some of those boards, I bet you wish you had now.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously,
Yeah.
they did some amazing art
Yeah,
back then.
those are some fun ones.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
were,
this was early. We had like you remember the little, it was like a pinstripe roller?
yes.
And you could put
Yeah,
ink in it,
ink
and,
in
then,
it.
and then it had
Yeah.
a little roller wheel. So
Yep.
that whole thing is outlined with one of those roller wheels.
Got it. That's
Wow.
And that's how pin lines got from being pin lines to
Yeah.
like a paint line.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, so
got it.
we just started like drawing with it, you know?
It's a great board.
That's a classic.
I keep telling you.
I got to show him that because I still talk to him from time to time.
I thought you were younger when that was. I actually thought someone told me that maybe you were 17 or 18 years old, but now based on the date, we know.
Yeah, I graduated
Yeah.
in '87, so 87, 88.
And that board, how wide is it? It doesn't say. It looks like it's about 18 inches wide.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it's so narrow.
Yeah.
It is narrow.
That was like the Slayer time when the boards just got
No,
super narrow.
We've all blew it.
Yeah.
I'll say to this day, I was trying to ride Slater's boards, and I'm
Yeah.
not Slater.
No, you just take a rail.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Yeah.
8 years?
Yeah. It took a while.
You know.
No, it was like up to my neck.
Yeah.
Boards, like blowing it. We
That
blew
was it was kind of like when skateboards, the wheels got really small and,
Right.
and no one could ride them. They're
Yeah.
just like, ugh.
But except one guy was
Yeah,
ripping on it.
right.
So everyone else was like, I gotta try.
Exactly. It was the same thing. Surfboards went really small. No
Who
one
was
could
ripping
ride-
on? Who was ripping on it?
Slater.
Slater was.
Slater.
Yeah, only guy.
You're sick of that guy.
Yeah. I mean, ridiculous. Well, that board's amazing. Let's walk over here. We'll do a couple more things before we get out of here. This
Oh,
is you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. You got the original.
Yeah, let me do it.
This is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the original ink. My wife cut the mats. She
Your
used-
wife did the mat on
Yeah,
there?
she used to work at York Gallery.
Get out of here.
No.
Oh, was that in the mall? Where was
Yeah,
that? It was
yeah,
in
at the mall,
right?
yeah.
Wow.
That's where I met her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You met your wife at the mall?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's on the Capitola Mall.
Yeah.
Capitol Mall.
Is she mad that I just said that?
No.
Okay,
no,
okay, cool. All
no,
right,
it's
sorry,
good.
Jen.
No, yes,
No, it's good.
that's
It's
your
good.
wife. She's still mad at you.
Yeah, she's still mad at me. Do you have a name for that? What?
Barf Brain.
Barf Brain.
Yeah. That was one of my first graphics. That was like a guy I used to always draw like in high school, and then like when I started doing graphics, I was like, we got to bring this guy in.
How
So I did
many
that.
veiny eyeballs have you done?
Oh man.
I mean, 100, 1,000,
hundreds,
right?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
100 skate decks, 1,000
Yeah,
veiny
1,000
eyeballs.
veiny eyeballs.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What year's that?
That's like 88.
Wow.
Yeah.
So before the surfboard, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because I started with the skate graphics, and then the skateboard industry kind of went down in the 90s. Remember,
Yeah.
it kind of like got slow, and so I started doing surfboards.
Oh,
What did you
okay.
tell you? What did you tell your wife at that time when you met her at the mall? What you did for a living?
She fell for it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
I do graphics, baby.
Your eyeballs, babe.
Yeah, I
I do
do
eyeballs.
Wait till you see how veiny these eyeballs are.
You're gonna love me after you see all of them.
Hey, let's follow.
right.
We're gonna go this way. Follow
All right.
us. Yeah, I got one couple more. Then we'll officially
Continue
get
the
out of
journey.
We're gonna head over here because there's another here.
Oh man, you got some classics. I forgot about this stuff.
Yeah, and so we're over here. We're gonna talk about his painting now. So
Oh, man.
you decided that you were gonna start painting.
Yeah, these are some old acrylic paintings.
Yeah.
These
Are
are
those-
from like early 90s.
Like kind of almost Homer inspired there a little bit. What is?
Yeah,
is that,
or
actors maybe or somebody who's this?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like old Steamer Lane.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then obviously the Metallica snowboard thing.
Right, right.
You ended up doing work for Metallica way
Yeah.
past this.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like the old Hesher '90s like snowboard rager.
So this reminds me of this guy named Rocker from Truckee who, a while back, he passed away snowboarding.
Oh,
Donner
wow.
Summit. But Rocker, when the first time he did that, I thought of Rocker.
Oh, yeah.
He is a legend in
Right?
Truckee snowboard history, and it's kind of like that classic '90s baggy black pants
Yeah.
snowboarder.
Right.
When it changed from tight neon buckle crap,
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
boots.
Exactly. Like the Heschers when they came to the snow, you know?
Is that '90s art? Right
Yeah, 90s. Yeah.
there? Insane.
And then those Viva NHS ones too, those are like, I think,
Well, and
might have been early 2000s
that's
or late
2008.
90s? Oh, 2008.
Neil,
okay.
can we get you on
got
these
the
ones?
date
I
on
got
it.
that one.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it.
These videos
Oh,
over here. This
which
is
one?
different. So we have the poster
Yeah.
and the board.
That's cool.
So
'Cause
that
you
was
were-
a sales meeting.
Oh, right.
So that skateboard and that poster was from a specific sales meeting at Santa Cruz Skateboard.
Right.
And each of the reps, and there was like 8, got the board and got the poster.
Wow.
Nice.
And I still have them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
And so a lot of collectors, again, they look for the weird stuff.
Right.
You know, they come in here, and a lot of the stuff they know and they've seen in the
Yeah.
books and stuff.
But then they're like, what's
yeah,
this?
yeah. They stop and they go, "What's that?" They go,
Yeah.
"Hey, you, what's that?"
Yeah.
You know, and so,
Right.
which is kind of
That's
wild.
cool.
And so that board always gets attention because it looks a little bit like a Manuel Guzman board.
Right.
You know, something that
Yeah.
could possibly be. An
I think
Emmanuel
it was
Guzman.
right after the Dining of the Dead board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
was-
it was like, inspired by that.
Inspired by that, and so there's a connection
Yeah.
to Santa Cruz skateboards.
Right.
there.
So
And
they see that
they see it,
yeah.
but they don't know what it is.
Right. They're like, wait.
And if you're a passionate collector,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that gets you, like, you stop in your tracks.
Right, because they don't know.
I
about
don't
it.
know what that is.
They know everything.
I know everything.
Except,
yeah.
except that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so passionate. They're
Right.
sponges.
Yeah.
And they want to know what's that. I don't know.
Right.
And so.
And how can they get one? Oh, sorry, you can't.
Yes, that's the kind of stuff. And then the weird stuff like this one thing right here. I mean, this is not related to you, but collectors come in here and they're like, "What is this Bain Cadillac Skateboard Championship
wow.
trophy?"
What year is that?
It's a Ty Page
What?
70s
Damn.
trophy.
That's
For what?
ancient.
This is a 1970s skateboard trophy on display here at the boardroom from Ty Page,
High
From-
age.
It
That's
was
like pre
like-
Tony Hawk.
pre Tony Alba.
Right.
And this is as old as it gets.
Right.
And Ty Page was
He's
a
like
legend.
the first like pro
Bain,
skater, right?
Bain Cadillac is like pre-modern skateboarding,
Yeah.
and this is a second place men's freestyle trophy.
Wow.
And it just sits
Place
up,
is a skate
it just sits
museum.
up here on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
That's
it's
crazy.
pretty amazing stuff.
Next to the
Yeah.
Emmanuel Guzman bench.
Exactly.
truck.
Yeah. Or over here, you know, the original. They actually duplicate these now. This is the original The Skateboarder lunchbox.
Oh, I used to love those metal lunch
With-
boxes with the
With
thermos.
the thermos.
Oh,
That's
man.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is.
Sick.
It's over here on
That
the
is
side.
classic.
Okay, so TC, I was gonna.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier about the Hall of Fame,
Yes.
right? So Jimbo,
Yeah.
we're gonna ask you top 5. We're gonna stick with skateboarding. Top 5 skateboarders that should be in the skateboard hall. The brand new Santa Cruz
Skateboarding
Hall of Fame.
Oh, that should
Pick-
be in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame?
No, we're gonna do a brand new Santa Cruz Skateboard Hall of Fame, excluding yourself, but the top 5 people who should be on it.
Oh, man.
Or
Skater?
five that you think should be in it.
Yeah, can be no.
It's-
Anything to
there's
do with
20.
anything to do with skateboarding.
Yeah. I mean, definitely Emmanuel Guzman. Skateboard team riders.
It could be a skateboard. Could be
Anybody. Could be
anybody. Could be a
Yeah.
Novak or what. It can be.
I mean, Eric Dressen, he's probably in the Skateboard Hall of Fame, right?
Well, but this is a Santa Cruz.
This is Santa Cruz.
local Hall
Oh,
of
okay,
Fame.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, man, that's tough.
You got to put yourself in there, or you got to put your
All
dad.
right.
You got to put your dad in there.
Oh, my dad's got to be in there, yeah.
Dad's
for
got
sure.
to. I'm
You got
going.
3 left.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got 3 left.
I mean, Novak, he's got to be in
You got to
there.
put Novak.
Yeah,
Right, so
he's
2 left.
He's done a lot.
Yeah.
Jack O'Neill.
Jack.
But we're doing skate or surf?
We're doing skate.
Yeah, skate.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you got Novak.
Got 2 left.
Probably-
Emmanuel, and you got your
Probably
dad.
like Rich Madiver.
Okay,
Yeah.
he was there. For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, he helped the whole
Yeah.
Speed Wheels
Speed
thing
Wheels, yeah.
take
Okay.
off.
He was a
Yeah.
big part of it.
We got one more.
Oh man, I'd have to say.
Can I? I won't.
Nope.
Yeah,
no, it's his.
no.
It's his.
That's yours.
Nope.
I might add a couple, one or two suggestions, but you got it.
Yeah. Skateboard.
We looked at his board
I'd have
tonight.
to say Kevin Reed.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say John Hudson.
Oh, John Hudson.
I was gonna say Roscop.
Yeah, well,
Rob.
Ross too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well,
Rob,
he's not from Santa
he's from
Cruz.
Ohio.
okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Fuck that
but-
guy.
No, but come on, Rob.
Yeah.
yeah,
Of course.
he's known for Santa
Of
Cruz.
Yeah.
course,
right?
Rob will be there.
Yeah.
And there will be other people too.
Hey, that's a good question for
Yeah.
people.
No, that's a great question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we could do surf as well. You
Yeah,
know,
we
you
do
got
surf.
The Richies and the
Yeah.
you know the
Right.
Bells and the
Yeah.
whoever's on the that could be possibly there.
Yeah.
And then shapers
Oh.
and photographers
man.
and
Hey.
the list goes
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, this goes on and on.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's a
and
good
Neil,
start.
Yes, sir.
it was a great sort of off
Great
the
show.
cup
Yeah.
show tonight.
Great
Yeah.
show.
Jimbo, amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, loved it.
Loved it. Yeah.
For all of you tuned in, thank you for being here again on the Off Flip Radio
This
Show.
is show number 980.
God, we're 20 away from 1,000.
Oh man.
20 away from 1,000.
Wow. Pete Madden, are you coming out?
Yeah, we'll see.
Is there an Amazon delivery?
Oh,
on
yeah.
there? What's going on? Who's he doing for?
Next week's show is Monica Martinez. She's vying for it. Wants to come back, so I can invite her to back.
Okay.
Uh,
Are we almost over the election?
almost over the election. We're almost done.
This was a rough run. we
I
got.
know. I've been yelled at. You see the
Coming down
text.
the wire.
I'm sure. You know, hey, folks, we are non-political.
As you
so-
say, you can vote
Yeah.
and what?
and to accept the results.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We live in a very organized society. So vote and accept if you win or lose.
Yep.
I know I will.
Jimbo gets
If
a
you
little.
don't vote, you can't say shit.
Jimbo
Go
gets
on, you-
Jimbo gets a gift certificate from the Hideout
The hideout,
Oh, what?
50
for
bucks.
50
yeah.
bucks. Woo, bro!
Yeah. Awesome.
If you guys
Thank
haven't
you.
gone to the hideout,
Oh, yeah, gotta
go
go there.
down there.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, that
food
place
is-
is
Great
bomb.
food. It's a
It is
bomb.
the bomb.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah,
So
take the missus
stoked.
down there.
Thank
She'll be
you.
so mad at me.
Oh yeah. She'll make up for it. She's gonna be stoked.
So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Off Flip Radio Show. And until then, good night.
Stickers, yeah!